What's going on, my couch family? It's me, ya boy, Ray, and we got some very interesting game news to come today. We got Microsoft trying to buy Nintendo. EA has lost its exclusivity to Star Wars games and what that means for the future of Star Wars games. And some Ghost of Tsushima players have done something very incredible. To find out more in this news, stick around in the couch. My name's Ray, and I'll be your guide today. What's going on, everybody? Again, my name is Ray, and I'm hoping you're having a very good day. Bars? Jokes aside, if you guys go on to enjoy this video at all, please don't forget to leave a like and consider joining us on the couch by subscribing for more gaming news, reviews, guides, and let's plays. So kicking today's news off with a little bit more of lighthearted story, Xbox has now been in the gaming war or the console warfare for 2 decades now, so to commemorate that, Bloomberg has published an in-depth oral history of how the console came to be, and holy fuck, there's a lot of like interesting stuff in there, but one part really stood out, and not just to me but to a lot of other gaming YouTubers and journalists. One of the parts that just really stands out to me the most is when Xbox or Microsoft early on tried to purchase a bunch of companies like EA, and they just got told no because they were the new kid on the block. But at one point in time, Microsoft had the balls to approach Nintendo and try to buy them, offering to make them the console and they have the games. And lo and behold, Nintendo just didn't just say no to them. They continued to laugh at them for apparently an hour, like literally laughed the Microsoft employees out of the building. Like like I don't know, there's just a very amusing thought of just a bunch of Microsoft people thinking that they could buy Nintendo, especially before they've even proven themselves as like a gaming company, and then just getting laughed out. And I just find that to be probably one of the more amusing stories in the entire article. Again, it's very interesting. It goes over the whole history kind of early Microsoft, and some big names appear like Todd Howard from Bethesda, EA, and kind of the fall of Sega back then. So if you're into like gaming history or just little gaming information, it's a very interesting read, and I will post it in the description. But now getting into a little bit more of the more juicier news of this week, or just kind of the past couple of weeks, is you may have already heard that EA has lost exclusivity rights to the development of Star Wars video games. Now, what does this mean for Star Wars moving forward? Well, for one, it means that we're going to see a lot more diversity in the type of Star Wars titles we see released. Now, EA did kind of come back and release a pretty dope single-player Star Wars game that was Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. I really enjoyed the game, and a lot of others did. It came out to be a critical success. But let's not pretend that all of EA's Star Wars games were like that. We all remember Battlefront 2 and the loot box debacle that has actually kicked off all the loot box talk in government and regulating it as gambling. So in a way, did EA actually help us? But jokes aside, this is really good news, because now that Lucasfilm's gaming is back, that means that there will be more chance for other people to get their hands on, and more diversity and breadth to bring this genre to life on gaming. Because there's so many things you can do with Star Wars, aside from just making a third-person or first-person shooter. Don't get me wrong, Battlefront 2 eventually came to life and became a decent game, but there's more than just Battlefronts, and I'm excited to see what can happen. Now that EA has lost the exclusivity, Star Wars can join the light side and breathe in the fresh air of being a... oh god. Oh no. Disney, no! Not Ubisoft! You just took it from Vader and gave it to Darth Maul! Why? Now, I will give it to Ubisoft that they do know how to make a pretty good open world. Like their most recent Assassin's Creed games, for example, I enjoy exploring the world and just going around and seeing what there is to do, and they have a lot of collectibles, and I think that Ubisoft could make a pretty dope open world Star Wars game. That being said, Ubisoft is no saint, and anybody who knows what Ubisoft has done and a lot of the things that are going on within their company, this leaves a little bit of concern as to how this game might actually turn out. As we know, these AAA companies keep leaning more and more toward games as a service type titles, and come on, we all know that those never turn out well right away. I mean, look at what just happened to Marvel's Avengers and how they leaned too heavily on the title or on the licensing that was the Avengers and too little on actual gameplay and game loop and cycles, and that game is more or less dead right now. I won't say it's dead because there's still a chance it can revive itself, and even though I'm not a fan, I hope it does revive itself because there's a lot of people who do want that to be a thing, and there's people who have jobs based around this game, so I do hope it turns itself around. But that's kind of my fear when it comes to another AAA company working with Star Wars, and they might just go that route, but we'll see how that turns out. I don't know, this is all speculation, by the way. Take this with like 10 buckets of salt. That's just a fear, and I'm voicing it here. Bars? Anyways, moving on, I think that it's also interesting to think that EA will still be allowed to make Star Wars games, and you know what? I think this is good. I think that when you take a powerful license that is Star Wars and you give it to different companies, it spawns a little bit of rivalry, and rivalry just helps growth. If you make a Star Wars game and your best friend or your next door neighbor is making a Star Wars game and you guys have to compete to see who can make the better one rather than everyone has to come to you because you're the only one who has it, well, now you got to actually work for it. You actually got to try and provide and give something to people, make it worthwhile rather than just hash out garbage and expect people to take it or leave it because you're the only one with Star Wars. So I'm pretty excited to see how this comes and how this turns out. I also hope that Disney isn't afraid to give smaller people a chance to make Star Wars games. I hope Bungie gets a chance to make a Star Wars game. Could you guys imagine Bungie making a Star Wars game? That would be kick-ass. Like everything they did with Destiny and the original Halos, I think that, I don't know, I could just see that being like a dream team making a Star Wars game for me, but that's just my wants and my speculations. Another thing that's pretty interesting with the revival of the LucasArts game productions and whatnot is that all its other old films will also be getting games, including Indiana Jones, which will be getting published and made by Bethesda. So that's exciting. I kind of find it funny because Uncharted is making its way into the movie realm while Indiana Jones is starting to make his way into the gaming realm. It's like they're giving each other a high five as they swap their forms of entertainment. But now I want to get into probably the best news of the night, and I'm excited to read this. It's an article coming from Metro UK, and it reads, Ghost of Tsushima players raise money to restore real-world shrine. The article reads, Sucker Punch's samurai game Ghost of Tsushima quickly garnered popularity upon its release, and that popularity is now partly responsible for a renovation effort in Japan. In September, one of the torii gates at the Watatsumi Shrine, which is located on the actual island of Tsushima, was severely damaged during a typhoon. As reported by Famitsu, a crowdfunding project was set up on Campfire, a Japanese alternative to Kickfire, to raise money to help rebuild it. The target was 5 million yen, which is roughly 35,603 euros, but it managed to amass a total of exactly 192,999 euros, having hit its original goal on December 1st. That is just awesome news. The shrine is already under renovation. It should start in April. So it's not already under renovation, just correcting myself. Renovations will start in April, which is amazing. That just kind of goes to show you the positivity that games can spread. And I kind of really wanted to end today's news on that, to kind of show gamers that there's more to our community than just getting mad at AAA companies for ripping us off and all this other stuff that just is going on within our community. That when a gaming company takes care and shows love and does something right, it can spawn a gaming community, a group of people to really reach out and have real world effects that go and help other people. And I'm gonna leave this article in the description as I'm doing with all the others if you guys want to read more of it. But I just find it awesome to think that Ghost of Tsushima touched so many people in such a positive way that now they're going out there and they're donating money and they're able to help a real world landmark and cultural heritage. And I just think that's beautiful. Of course, yeah, there's a lot of other things in the world that are pressing and stuff, but I think it's important to take time and just really look at the little things, because there's so much bad going on in the world, or at least it seems like there's so much bad going on in the world. Like, geez, in my country right now, everyone's kind of has anxiety of a possible civil war starting. Getting back to the positivity, but you know, I'm just thought that it'd be nice to hit this and kind of just show gamers and everyone that there's still good that's happening out there, and just show AAA companies or bigger companies or even smaller companies too, that if on the off chance you're watching this video, that if you take love and you really treat your work right, your art right, it can spawn something beautiful that really just affects the lives of others. So with that, I just want to say I hope you guys found today's video enjoyable or informative, or hopefully both. If you liked the video, please don't forget to leave a like. If you want to join us on the couch, hit that subscribe button and join us on the couch for gaming news, reviews, guides, and let's plays. Until next time, my name is Ray, and you've all been great. I'm out.